dying dentist who became the deadliest gambler in the West. Imagine you're sitting at a poker table in a smoky saloon. The man across from you coughs, wipes blood from his lips, and smiles with teeth so white they gleam under the dim lantern light. You think his sickness makes him weak until he places his hand on a pearl-handled revolver and raises his eyes to yours. His name was Doc Holliday, the deadliest gambler the West has ever known, the making of a legend. John Henry Holliday was born in 1851 in Georgia into a respectable Southern family. His father was a veteran of 3 wars. His mother taught him manners, Greek, and Latin, but his comfortable childhood ended when he was just 15. His beloved mother Alice died of tuberculosis, the same disease that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Determined to make something of himself, young John went to dental school in Philadelphia. He graduated as a dentist at just 20 years old. Handsome, well-dressed, and brilliant with his hands, he returned to Georgia ready to build a successful practice. But fate had other plans. One day, while examining a patient, he began coughing violently. Blood sprayed onto his white dental apron. Tuberculosis, the same killer that took his mother, was now eating away his lungs. The doctor told him he had only a few months left to live, but Doc refused to wait in bed for death. He packed up, left Georgia forever, and traveled west. Dry air was supposed to prolong the lives of tubercular patients. What he found in the West wasn't just cleaner air. He found gambling, whiskey, and guns. In Dallas, he opened a dental practice, but few wanted to be treated by a coughing dentist. Soon he discovered he could make more money playing cards, and he was good, very good. But gambling tables in Texas were dangerous. When a drunken loser drew a knife on him, Doc responded with cold precision. His first kill. Word spread quickly. The frail, coughing gambler was lethal. No one knew exactly how many men he killed in his life. Some say 9, others say 40. That was only the beginning. Deadly friendships. Doc moved across Texas and New Mexico, his reputation growing with each poker table and each body left behind. But it was in Fort Griffin, Texas, that he met the man who would change his destiny, Wyatt Earp. Wyatt walked into the saloon looking for an outlaw named Dirty Dave Rudabaugh. Doc told him Rudabaugh had just left. Wyatt was impressed. Not only did Doc know everyone in town, but he spoke calmly, with an educated accent rare in the West. That meeting forged one of the greatest partnerships in Western history. Wyatt Earp, the lawman, Doc Holliday, the deadly gambler. Together, they were unstoppable. But their real legend began in Tombstone, Arizona, the gunfight at the OK Corral. October 26, 1881. The day that would etch their names into American folklore forever. Tensions had been rising between the Earps and the Cowboys, an outlaw gang that controlled Tombstone. When the Cowboys threatened violence, Wyatt, his brothers Virgil and Morgan, and Doc Holliday walked down Fremont Street to disarm them. Witnesses say Doc was coughing up blood that morning, barely able to stand, but he still strapped on his revolver and shotgun. As the men faced off near the OK Corral, Doc sneered at Ike Clanton. "I'm your huckleberry." In less than 30 seconds, gunfire erupted. Bullets flew. When the dust settled, 3 cowboys lay dead. Doc had shot Tom McGlory in the chest with his shotgun and finished him with a revolver. Despite his illness, despite his skeletal frame, Doc moved like a panther in that gunfight, fearless and lethal. The final days. After the OK Corral, Doc became a hunted man. He was arrested, tried, and acquitted for murder. But tuberculosis was his true enemy. His coughing grew worse, his body thinner. In Colorado, he spent his last days in a small room at the Glenwood Springs Hotel. He drank whiskey straight, played poker when he could, and stared out the window at the Rocky Mountains. He knew death was near. On November 8, 1887, he woke up, looked down at his bare feet, and smiled. His whole life, he thought he'd die with his boots on in a gunfight. But he died quietly, in bed, whispering his final words. This is funny. Doc Holliday lived only 36 years, a brilliant dentist turned gambler, a dying man who faced gunmen without flinching. To this day, his legend lives on as a reminder of the West's most powerful paradox. The sickliest man in the saloon was often the deadliest.